Hey everyone, hope all is well. Welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to talk about letter of recommendation LOR that virtually every B school will require you to submit alongside your GMAT score or GRE score as well as your essays. But before I get started, just a request as always to subscribe to the channel if you have liked our content till now. Your support really means a lot to us. Awesome. So, letter of recommendation, for the lack of a better word, is a proxy of your candidature. So, when the school is asking you to write your essays, it's your life story, your aspirations, your successes, your achievements, your failures coming from your mouth, your pen. But when it comes to the LOR, it means that the school wants somebody who has worked closely with you to write about you, to write about your strengths and your weaknesses basis their opinion in a professional capacity, and whether you have what it takes to become a successful business leader in the future. So LOR questions are always, subjective in nature, which is what has been your working relationship with Sarthak and what are his strengths and weaknesses, and if you have managed a team of 10, how has he fared, what's unique about him, what are his strengths, what can he improve on, what is the most constructive piece of feedback that you've given to him till date. So an LOR requires the person, whoever is writing the same for you, to really give a nuanced qualitative feedback on your abilities basis their experience with you. So my first suggestion is that it's best to take it from somebody who is your most recent or previous manager, because see, it's not inaccurate to take it from somebody who you worked with 5 years ago, but people are able to write more about you and write it in a very nuanced fashion if they have worked recently with you, right? So if I tell you to write about somebody who you worked with in 2018, it's very difficult for you to recall the projects, the assignments, the deliverables that you executed together. But if I ask you to write about somebody who you worked with last year in 2023, you will be able to, recollect a lot of anecdotes and projects and deliverables. So the first suggestion is to ask your most recent manager or previous manager. I know it's difficult for some candidates to ask their most recent manager to write an LOR, because that signals that I'll be leaving you soon and I'll be leaving the organization to go to B school. If that's the case, take it from somebody who managed you previously in your previous avatar, in your previous role. That's first. The second thing is to really take it from somebody who has worked closely with you. Let me give you an example. So, there might be a lot of people who might be applying with an ISB or a Rotman or on an HEC or an INSEAD. All these schools require one to do LORs. See, I might be working with a startup, but it might be the case that I would have never worked with the CEO. I might know the CEO, he might be a WhatsApp text away, but I have never worked with him. Is it good for me to take an LOR from him? I don't think so. Why? Because they have never seen you in a professional capacity, they have never seen what are your strengths, they have never seen you work in a team, they have never seen you execute. Right? So, a lot of people try to optimize for job titles. But trust me, in an LOR, the job title does not matter. As long as that person who is giving the LOR is at least one level or more levels higher than you, it's totally fine. Might not be your colleague, but somebody who's your team lead or a super boss, totally fine. So take it from somebody who has really seen you in action. So stop optimizing for job titles of that evaluator and start optimizing for your shared experiences in a professional capacity with them. And that's very important, simply because these are qualitative answers and they'll be able to write it in a very nuanced fashion only if they have really worked with you, right? You don't want somebody to use a chat GPT or write half baked answers for you in the LOR. That's something that you will also not want to do in your essays, right? So think about the LOR to be an essay about you but written by somebody else, right? uh, and the last and the most important tip is that a lot of people, including my mentees, they try to optimize for the fact that I'll give the email ID of my manager on the portal of the B school, but I'll ask them to send the questions to me. It's okay to do that in some scenarios when your manager is super busy, when they don't want to write anything on their own. I totally understand that. But if you believe they might be pushed and they might be encouraged to write the LOR, please do that. Because B schools these days are getting very smart. They try to match the writing styles of your essays, which you are attempting, with the writing style of the LOR. And I've heard this in the recent past, which leads to the school rejecting you directly because the LOR is supposed to come from somebody who's not you, but who has worked with you. So try to get the LOR from somebody who has really worked with you closely and who's willing to spare an hour of their time on a Sunday to write the answers for you on their own, right? So that's my feedback, and I hope this helps you in your B school applications. Thank you.